white, so I'm just going to put some of these blues together like I did before here and go over that one more time. So that is the ultramarine blue, phthalo blue together, but more phthalo blue than ultramarine. Some white with that. That's good. And now when I go over this again, it's going to be better coverage and it'll stand out better then. There's only having a little bit, like I said before, a little tiny bit of this showing through. Need a bit more white to that. Just going to show through trees. More white to that. Let's be a bit lighter up there. That's where the sunlight's coming from, up in that corner, so it automatically gets lighter. Right, same again on this side. Just going to go over these little areas where I had the paint before. Like I say, a lot of it's going to be blocked up anyway, totally blocked up with leaves and stuff like that. But just enough of this, just a little bit of it, will show through. It's worth taking your time on these. I've been a bit poorly, as you can obviously tell from my voice, so sorry it took a bit of time. I'm looking forward to doing this though, and finishing it. Because at the stage it's at, you can't really tell where I'm going with it. Something like that. And I'm just going to switch to a clean brush, and I'm just going to use a 1 inch, or 1 inch. Just going to get some of that. See, there's a little bit of blue that's got into the white. I'll just use that paint from there. I'm just going to double load it on both sides of the brush, like that. And then just up in here, I want it to be a bit brighter, sunlight coming through. And even up in there, I can blend that white up into that. And it'll just soften it all. I want a bit of colour there, just not a lot. There. Again, there's going to be trees all the way above the top of this. It's a closed canopy, a woodland, so this is just going to be showing through underneath. And you can even try to slightly blend the blue and the white. That doesn't matter over there because it's just going to be peeking through trees. Just going to get a little bit more white. Just put a bit of that in there with some of that colour. So it's a bit too blue. And it'll just mix with it. I want it to get bluer up in here, but I wanted it to stay quite a light blue down there. Like so. A bit same thing, just up in here, lighten it up a bit. It's darker towards the base for some reason. There. It's going to be just black in there anyway, all covered up. Probably won't even use that. But yeah, I'm happy with it at that stage. Now, next what we're going to do is we're just going to highlight some of the edges of this. It's going to show through a few bits of green and stuff, even tiny bit of colour just in here on these bushes, and then we'll get on with the fun stuff. So just got some cadmium yellow, pull both sides through the brush, paint, a bit of phthalo blue, just a little bit of the blue. You don't need a lot, it's really strong. Just a little bit of phthalo blue, and that's going to be my bright green. And the bright green is the colour I'm using for, I'll just tap and push into that like you would with the Bob Ross oils, just with acrylics. And then just in there, I'm just going to highlight some of the ends of these. That's it. So they're bright, quite yellow because obviously it's in the sun, and with the colours that's underneath there anyway, that will help turn it a nice green colour, because you always mix a little bit of acrylics. Just on that top edge in there. Don't kill out darks. I might actually have some up in there too. We'll be having some dark colours in with that also. A few areas where there's going to be more light than others coming through, so just tap some in there as well. There's going to be green leaves all the way over it, up in here, so just in a little bit of, tiny bit of lighting. Now, just where this tree is, I'm going to tap softer, and they look like some of the leaves that are in the shadows. Just a bit more gentle on these. That's it. Turn brush off now and again as well. So all I'm going to be showing through the trees is this. So I want it really bright on the ends in there, and then just in here you're going to not see much, a few little indications. Most of this will be covered up. It's this area here really that I'm concerned about. A bit of the dark green, sap green on its own, just that sap green there on its own, and into where the sunlight is, just in the shadows. I'm going to tap a bit of green into that too, just up in there. Very subtle though, you don't want to see it much at this stage. Just a little bit, because this is all going to be dark and covered up again, all of this. And even up in there, got a few little indications of green. Now, I'm just going to use the corner of the brush, top edge, and I'm just using basically yellow. I don't want there to be a lot of colour on this at all. And I want to use it sparingly. Just in there, just where the sun's hitting it. A few little spots in between the trees where it's been just hitting them bushes. Because the sun rays are light, the sun rays are coming through this way. So, brilliant. That's good. Now, for the foreground trees, there's a few little bits of light green showing through over here. So I'm just going to mix sap green and the yellow together. Just in there. Some bright stuff that's coming out on the ends. Most of it's going to be dark though. It's going to be blocked in here. Don't kill all that blue, like I say. I'm going to create some areas where you can see it through the dark. So you're going to have to put some dark on this also, obviously. Get that colour just in there. This is just the lights. Gives me an indication as well of where I'm wanting to go. Back into sap green again. Just up in here, I'm going to gently tap an indication. Some bushes that are going to be in there. There will be a few little highlights here and there as well. Just in there. I'll put a few little highlights just on the top. It's just an indication for now. I'm not worried about it. Don't tap too much at this stage. It's going to be really dark, you see. They're going to have dark shadows underneath anyway. So I just indicated for myself, basically, something like what it's going to be, and there'll all be different shades of green as well. I want to mix some yellow ochres in there and some burnt siennas and stuff by mixing them myself. So you'll learn quite a bit about colour mixing with this one. Just in here I want some light green ones too. Just where lights, you see where light's zinging through and it's in this bush here. There's a few bits of light coming up and hitting just in here as well behind. There's going to be a tree in front of this. So I'm just going to indicate a few little branches that you can see in there. There. That's it. And up in here. I'll put some gently in. Maybe some more in there. I'm going to just change the twang in a while. I'm using this colour just at the moment, but I will be changing. Oh, that's bright. That's where it wants to be bright, just on top of there and up in there. There's a few more highlights than I've put in. So I'm always cautious at first anyway, best way to be, because then you don't overdo it instantly. That's going to be covered up a lot. There's going to be some dark branches coming in front of that and stuff. So because it's light, it'll make it so that the dark branches I put in front will really stand out against the light that's on there. Right. Okay. Bits of green in there too. Right.